Curtis Martin never intended to be enshrined in the Pro Football Hall of Fame. He never even wanted to play professional football. But once he started playing, he became one of the game's greats. Curtis's unlikely journey to Canton includes twists and turns of every variety, heartbreak as well as pain, but most of all, perseverance. As a young boy growing up in the hard steel town of Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, Curtis's childhood was anything but conventional.
I remember one time where, when I was 5 and 6, we were so poor that my mother couldn't afford a babysitter. So I had a little key around my neck on a shoestring, and she taught me how to come home every day after school from kindergarten and first grade. And I would stay in the house by myself till, 9, 10 o'clock at night, And I couldn't even go outside and play because she was afraid that someone would discover that I was unattended and CYS would take me. So, I remember those days when, I had to eat syrup sandwiches and ketchup sandwiches every day, until my mother got home.
I was very hard on Kurt. I was very, very hard on him. And right today, sometime I call him and I cry. Because after it's all over, I found out that he was the type of kid that didn't need that.
At my eulogy, I don't want my daughter to talk about how many yards I gained or touchdowns I scored. I want my daughter to be able to talk about the man that Curtis Martin was, how, when she was growing up, she looked for a man who was like her father, that he was a man of integrity, a man of strong character, and a God-fearing man. And then at the end of the day, she say, oh yeah, he was a pretty good football player.
I don't need anything to define me or to validate me. I'm just really comfortable in my own skin. I love my life, and for me, the Hall of Famer part doesn't floor me. The fact that I'm alive is what floors me.
50 years of New York Mets baseball. A franchise born to mend the broken hearts of the city's National League faithful.
We've got him from the babies up. As soon as the kids get dark, he starts to say Metsy, Metsy.
An organization that came of age with a miraculous run in the summer of '69 and shocked the world that fall.
The World Series is over. Jones makes the catch.
Propelled by a wealth of pitching, accompanied by a supporting cast of unshakable veterans, the Miracle Mets grew from lovable losers to world champions, a reality as unthinkable as man walking on the moon. From the Black Cat to Bill Buckner.
And a ground ball, quickly, it is a fair ball, hit by Buckner, rounding third night. The Mets will win the ball game. The Mets win. They win.
Baseball's bad boys became kings of New York and champions of the world. Singular names like Keith, Doc, Kid, and Straw owned the hearts of the world's greatest city. Theirs is a vibrant history that includes 4 trips to the Fall Classic and characters of every variety. Charismatic, captivating, determined, polarizing managers drafted to lead hometown heroes and hired guns from around the corner and around the world. From You Gotta Believe to We'll Never Forget.
This one has a chance. Home run, Mike Piazza.
To closing the doors of an old home. The Mets have been miracle workers, healers, and heartbreakers. 5 decades of dramatic, exciting, breathtaking, emotional moments of our national pastime continue today when the Mets' 50th anniversary season begins.
Watching Angel Pagan play baseball day in and day out is so refreshing. The young center fielder goes full speed on every play in every game. It was that dedication, along with his athleticism and talent, that earned him the nickname Crazy Horse a few seasons ago. Now for Angel, his approach to the game and his respect for baseball is something that can be traced back to his youth in Puerto Rico. This off-season, Pagan gave us a tour of some special places in his hometown, and he even introduced us to one of his most influential coaches. Check it out.
Hey guys, this is Angel Pagan. Welcome to Puerto Rico. I want to show you today where I grew up, where I was born. You know, this town here is called Manuela Perez, Puerto Rico, in Rio Piedra. And if you see, right here, back in this building, this wasn't here. None of this was here. This used to be a tall building of 14 floors, a project, and that's where I was born. We used to come and play basketball in this basketball court right here. It's a really, really rough neighborhood, but my parents, you know, they show me the right thing to keep myself in line and become a great human being. And that's why I am who I am. And it doesn't matter where you come from, you know. You can always be the best, you know, you can always succeed in your life. And I want to show you a little bit of myself, where I was come from, and I hope you enjoy your stay in Puerto Rico. The name of this high school is Juan Ponce de Leon. A lot of people from rough neighborhoods came to this school. A lot of athletes came from here. There's a lot of baseball players, boxers. I think I was the first one to make it to the big leagues.
Curveball hit toward the middle of the diamond, base hit. And Pagan takes a turn, trying for two. A hustle double for Angel Pagan.
We didn't have no baseball team here. We didn't have the facilities over here. You know, I used to just go with my family and just work in the park. It's been a long time since I came here, you know, so I can see what I've been through, you know, where I came from and what I have accomplished in my life. You know, you look back and you appreciate everything so much because, you know, you came from nothing, you know, and now that you have the opportunity to be in a great town like New York and play for the New York Mets, you're now being an example for a lot of guys that now come to this school. I want to introduce you to where I first started as a baseball player. This was the baseball stadium that I first grabbed a bat, you know. This is my first manager, my mother. She taught me how to throw a ball.
Me tenía vuelta loca. Entonces yo dije, caramba, yo tengo que hacer algo con este nene para canalizarle esa energía. Estaba hablando con una amiga mía, me dijo, mira, pero en Villa Prada están buscando nenes para un equipo de pelota. Pues nada, hicimos un grupito, pero no había quien dirigiera el equipo. Me dice, pero tú sabes de pelota porque tú juegas softball. Y yo, bueno, ni remedio, pues todo lo hice pues para ayudarlo a él.
It was a fun experience, you know, being here, playing with all the guys. You know, Ruben Sierra came from here. To meet a guy that was a professional player, that was a light for me to follow, you know. And that's what I want to accomplish with the young guys. I want the future, you know, guys coming up to see myself as a light to follow. You know, that doesn't matter where you start playing, you can achieve any goal you have in your heart. You know?
A spectacular catch by Pagan.
Thank you guys for visiting us in Puerto Rico, and I hope you enjoy this part of my life, you know, where I came from, and thank you very much.
Hi there, welcome to the show. I'm Tiffany Simons. As you know, the Summer Olympics are just about to get underway, but did you know that former Met Frank Viola will have a special interest in this year's games? That's right, Viola's daughter Brittany will be representing the United States as a member of the diving team. And while it's a dream come true for both father and daughter, the journey to London was certainly a challenging one. When it comes to pitching, Frank Viola has seen it all. During his 16 seasons in the majors, the left-hander won 176 games, along with a Cy Young Award and a World Series ring. But these days, it's his daughter Brittany who's garnering a great deal of attention as a member of the 2012 U.S. Women's Olympic Diving Team. Being a professional athlete, you've been in these situations where it's immense amount of pressure. But is there a moment when you sit back and say, I don't know what to tell her about diving?
It's a great question because in diving, you're by yourself. See, in baseball, I had teammates with me. I always had somebody I could talk to, relate to about the situation at hand. In diving, she doesn't have anybody. If she wanted to talk strictly diving with me, that wouldn't be helpful at all. I couldn't do anything to help her. I know the sport now by watching, but I don't know how to teach it. I think it's more difficult what she's doing than anything I ever did just for that fact.
Oh man, my dad's knowledge of the sport is very limited. He doesn't really like the whole subjectivity of the sport. He likes objective sports. So it was really hard for him to enjoy, watching something where he doesn't quite know how the results came about. he's just really enjoyed watching me and supporting me and doing something that I love.
For Brittany, the road to the 2012 Olympics in London hasn't been easy. In fact, her previous 2 attempts to qualify for the last 2 Olympic Games ended in bitter disappointment, missing the Games by 1 spot. But this year, the 25-year-old put together a dominating performance at the Olympic trials to finally earn a spot to represent the United States at the upcoming Summer Games.
Well, I was definitely excited, just realizing that I had made the team and reflecting on the journey. It's like it all hit me at once, this 12-year pursuit, or 18 if you include my gymnastics career. There were times when I wanted to quit and I wanted to give up, and I just was blessed with an amazing support group of family and friends, and it's just really brought a lot of joy into what I do now.
It's something that every kid dreams about, wearing the red, white, and blue of your country. And now to have an opportunity, I think it finally sunk in when she went to Washington, D.C., and now she's out there in London, and I believe she's going to do okay. Because like in baseball, when you get to the World Series, you've done the hardest work. You get to the World Series, it's to showcase your ability. Well, she's in London now. I think she's going to showcase her ability to a lot of people, and I'll tell you what, I wouldn't bet against my daughter.
You've got a list of honors and awards. Is there room in this household for a gold medal?
Would be the highest pedestal of the house. The only thing that could challenge it would be winning the World Series with the Twins, because once again, that was a team-oriented thing. There's nothing on an individual basis that any of us accomplished that a medal from the Olympics could ever take the place of. You're doing it for your country. So that would go probably even above my World Series championship, honestly.